Well, a fine good evening, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. In fact, we can see the sun is setting right over here. I'm in Alburgh, Vermont today. And in case you're wondering where the town name came from, because for the 45 years I've lived in Vermont, I've always pronounced it Alburgh. But the town was actually named for Ira Allen, which makes sense as to why it's called Alburgh, with an H on the end. So a shout out, by the way, to Danielle and the town clerk. I called the town clerk's office to make sure this building was actually still standing rather than driving the other 9 miles to come up to film it. And she looked it up for me, and yes, she told me it was near the lake, which is great because Google Maps got me to this road, but kept telling me that I had arrived. No, I had to go all the way to the end of the road. So anyway, shout out to Danielle for all the wonderful help. Really appreciate it. This is the Rutland Railroad pumping station. It's an historic water pumping facility at 43 Lake Street in the town of Alburgh, Vermont. Built in 1903, it is a rare example in Vermont of an early railroad-related water pumping facility. In use until the 1940s, it provided water needed for steam engines at rail facilities elsewhere in Alburgh. It is now owned by the town and was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1999. The former Rutland Railroad pumping station stands on the eastern shore of Lake Champlain, at the western end of Lake Street. It is a modest rectangular brick building with a gabled roof and stone foundation. The north-facing front is 3 bays wide, with a doorway in the left bay and rectangular window openings to the right. All of the building openings have been boarded over. The window openings are set in what were once round openings for pipes, as evidenced by infill brickwork. And you can see that from where we're standing right here, where I'm standing, I guess. See, oops. I'm right there and there. The interior of the building is single open space with a poured concrete floor. The equipment, most dating to the mid-20th century, is located at the southern end. It includes a gasoline motor, electric motor, and water pump. The Rutland Railroad, in a bid to expand service north of Burlington, capitalized on the financial difficulties of the competing Central Vermont Railroad to acquire rights to the railway crossing between Alburgh and Ogdensburg, New York, in 1897. It then built a major rail yard in Alburgh, a presence that is largely no longer evident. This pumping station was constructed about 1903 to provide water from the lake to the rail yards for use in the railroad's steam-powered locomotives. It also served as a water supply for parts of the town. During the first half of the 20th century, steam engines were supplanted by more efficient diesel and electric power, and the pumping station was functionally abandoned. The town acquired the building from the railroad in 1954. Its modern water supply plant stands nearby. Now, 1954 for the Rutland Railroad, it went bankrupt in 1954. So, makes sense that they would get the rights, the town would get the rights. All right, and I see there's a storyboard. I love these things. Let's do a walk around to the building first while there's still enough light, and I'll come back to read what it says on there. It does say that there's a sign here. Just be clear, no trespassing or loitering on this property. Violators will be prosecuted. The building is in need of help, no doubt about that. I mean, we've got a portion missing here, and I'd love to see the town do something with this. And then there's this piece right here. Looks like, mind you, I am not an expert in anything, but this looks like a control wheel. You know, one that you would turn with your hands, a hand wheel, and would gone down into maybe a pump. It is a water pumping facility after all. But, you know, for those who know things more than I do, hey, let us know in the comments below. And admittedly, who doesn't love that view? There's a house right next door. Okay, so these windows are also boarded up. Love the brickwork, but we can see that there are issues with the brick. Holy cow. Look at the cracks. The parts of the building are breaking away. That's not good. And then there's more of the same on this side of the window too. So it's a window. Something going on with the windows. Also not good. And it does go all the way down, almost all the way down. The brick is looking really rough, as you can see. Oh, and a crack. Crack is as far down as right here. If the town doesn't do something with this pretty soon, I'm afraid they're going to lose it. Well, there's a pipe hole. Well, it's not a hole. It's closed on the other end. See? Closed. Then there's this right here. It's not the right place for a downspout. Oh, we see the window used to be much taller too. Let's go back this way. You see some spots in the foundation too that could stand some help. This is an adorable building. And it's right on Lake Champlain. We can see here that they did that work, but they put in new brick, and we can see all the way up there, over here, and then down. It's really interesting. This, of course, is the door. Looks like, oh, it looks like knob and tube wiring. That is a safety hazard. And let's do the other side of the building before I share with you the storyboard. More windows. I don't know what that would have been for, but it's an interesting artifact. You can see this window apparently is still the original height, and that one has been shortened. Bricked. The top has been bricked. I wonder, this is a door of some sort, like a hatch maybe. Always makes me wonder what that's for. And a pipe right here. And we can see up above how it had been a taller window. And let's go to the other side here. Another pipe. And a bricked up, completely bricked up window. It didn't say anything about an architectural style, but it kind of reminds me of Italianate. It has, under the eaves, those rafters are sticking out. They're not called rafters. I can't remember what they're called. But you know what I mean. They're sticking out from the base there. And, I don't know. It just reminds me of Italianate. But hey, correct me. Correct me, please. I don't mind being corrected when I make a mistake. All right, let's go back to the storyboard and see what it has to say. Alburgh Pump House, la station de pompage d'Alburgh. All my photographs will be on Instagram and Facebook when this video goes live. By the way, this will be a premiere video, and that's open to a live chat with yours truly. So if you'd like to chat in real time, join me. All right, so while I'm reading this, I'll focus on the building. There we go. Step back in time to January 7, 1901. Can you hear the whistle as the first train from Burlington approaches Alburgh? The Island Line, operated by the Rutland and Canadian Railroad, is officially open for passenger service. The 40 miles of track constructed from here to Burlington are a stunning achievement in engineering. The route includes a 3.25-mile marble causeway, the longest in the world at the time, that connects Colchester Point to Allen's Point in South Hero, Vermont. Business is booming in Alburgh. Sounds of crews working around the clock ring out along the route. A roundhouse, a large water tower, and an ice house are now prominent landmarks in Alburgh. The nearby pumping station will be constructed in 1903. The pumps inside will provide water for use in steam-powered locomotives for the next 40 years. The creation of the Rutland Canadian Railroad brought a little hustle and bustle to this small New England town. A daily passenger train connected Alburgh to Burlington and points south until 1955. Freight service ended in 1961. Today, this part of Alburgh bustles a little more quietly than it did 100 years ago. The Island Line, however, is still used for transportation. You can still follow its path, but not by train. Today, you must pedal your way along this scenic and historic route. Wow, that is so well written. This top picture is a fine view of the roundhouse and yard in Alburgh, Vermont. Look at all the tracks lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks wide. Holy cow. I'm looking at the ones in the forefront here. In fact, it says underneath it, the Alburgh Railroad was a busy place in the 20th century. Look for evidence of the railroad infrastructure near the firehouse on Main Street. And then this bottom picture, steam engines required water in their boilers. The pump house provided water to the nearby rail yard. And you can see it says Rutland on the side of the train here. And then this, the Rutland Railroad, between Boston, New York, and all points south, and Vermont, Canada, and all points north, and Chicago and the west. Holy guacamole. Fascinating. The rest of the sign is en français. Well, again, this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Over 600 videos on my channel now. Hard to believe. Holy cow. I upload every day of the week. Most of my videos are premieres. If you don't see a premiere for the video, there is going to be a video. It's just probably a shorts video. I mean, why would I for a minute or less? So, I'm also on all the social media you are, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all Traveling for History with one L in traveling. On Twitter, I am Traveling for Hi1, Traveling for HI numeral 1. I have a website, travelingforhistory.com. If I find more information on places I have filmed, then it lands on my website. So anyway, thank you so much for coming with me today. This has been on my bucket list since last winter when I found out about it the first time. Until I see you again, I hope you have an absolutely fabulous evening. Thanks for watching. Bye.